your other remote.
And then hit home.
Once it's almost done, you can hit home. Okay,
Okay, look on the draw next time.
First
okay.
try.
Double click on Zoom. Got it. And you're good to go.
All right. Welcome.
See, you know what's going on. 4:59.
No. Yep, with the pen.
Okay.
No.
Are
Nope.
you sure you don't want to sit here?
Yeah. Number one,
Okay.
give it to your members so that they can move in second. Steve will put in the time, read the motion.
Oh, we're gonna do that one. So moved by Dan, second by Natalie, that the Recreation and Fitness Committee meeting be open at 4:59 PM. All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
So we got the adoption of the minutes from September 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a copy of the minutes?
The minutes go to Steve.
Okay. Can I just ask a question? Tobogganing station, who's gonna be providing the toboggans in that?
We have a couple, we're gonna get a few more too. Moved by Natalie, second by Dan, that the minutes of the Recreation and Fitness Committee meeting held September 11th be adopted as circulated. All in favor? Yeah, so the tobogganing station, somebody from the community, and I didn't even look up to figure out who, asked me at the end of last winter if they could donate a couple toboggans. And if we could hang up a sign saying, you know, free community use, whatever. I have quite a few that I can donate as well. So that kids don't have to drag their stuff all over the place, and maybe kids that don't have them can still use it. All right, any disclosure or pecuniary interests? Hearing none. Any presentations from the public? Seeing none. And then reports. So trade show report.
You did a good job, Steve.
I'll let you guys go first.
You did a great job. There was an awful lot of work. Unfortunately, the turnout was pretty disappointing, especially in the afternoon. So a lot of the vendors started leaving and well, nobody was coming in. So
Mhm.
I think the big consensus from what I was hearing was that it wasn't advertised or promoted enough.
Right.
So maybe it just means we put it out there to Calvé and Astorville and, you know, all the other communities, North Bay even.
The other thing too is that it was like kind of close to the Christmas bazaar for the ones that have in-house businesses.
Yeah.
But I think maybe in the spring, we should think of doing home and garden or something like that. You know, and starting, we have a list.
Or maybe even connecting with the one in Astorville because theirs was well attended. I mean, there were cars up and down the road when they did theirs this spring or whatever it was, spring, summer. It was a wild success. So maybe it'd be worthwhile touching base with their committee members to see what they did, you know, what we could learn from them. And then if this is something that you want to pursue again next year or the year after. But from what I understand, it's like even the businesses weren't registering, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did limit it to Bonfield to begin with, because we wanted to promote local businesses. Now, I don't know if this had an impact on our attendance, but there was another something else going on at the same time on Saturday that probably took a lot of our residents away. So I don't know if that had something to do with it as well.
It's our first year.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
we had a few, like, 18 businesses, but just nobody was coming. That's the unfortunate part. I mean,
So I got a list of all the businesses from the township from under maybe 2 weeks or whatever prior to the event. And I started messaging a bunch of other businesses that I know, and quite a few of them were too busy to attend, or weddings, or like closing cottages. So I'm thinking it might have to do with maybe time of year.
Mm.
I'm wondering if we would be more successful in the winter when people are just looking for something to do, anything to do. I'm also debating next year offering it to surrounding community businesses and charge them limited, super limited, $100, $150, something like that, for a table for the day, and still free for Bonfield, and then we can turn it into, being revenue positive as well for the event.
yeah, I think like you said, the township said, we touching surrounding municipalities. So extend it to them first and then see.
It's unfortunate because we picked a date ages ago.
Mhm.
I feel that we did promote it a fair bit, like especially on social media. It was on our website forever. It was in, I think, 2 newsletters, like, so people should have known about it, but even up to a week before, I was contacting different businesses that I know that are in the area, and some of them said that they didn't know anything about it. So I think maybe staff, if not our committee, needs to pay attention to what businesses are here, and then actually like directly call them when we pick a date for next year.
And that's an issue. We don't know.
Right.
Send them letters.
We don't know.
Right.
Because none of them, it's not that they need to register with us,
Right.
but we have new people. I can name you 5 of them that have moved here recently.
Right.
And it's just on Facebook that we know, oh, he's an electrician. Oh, he's a plumber.
Right.
But the township that itself has no idea of who these people are. So it's hard to reach out to them. And the list we do have is so outdated that we can't even use those for our welcome package. So
So who owns the sign up front?
the one at the
Lions.
road, the Lions Club.
But anytime we want to put a sign up, all we have to do is contact the Lions and they'll put it up.
Yeah, I mean, we might have to like
So there's
come to
one
the
at the mall.
21st century,
And the
maybe
one
put a
at
digital
the-
one up, maybe looking at a digital one out there so we
And-
can do messages like that,
Mhm.
right? I
And
mean,
the one close to Dinner Bell too.
Mm.
The hall's always really good about changing their sign.
Mhm.
if we
Yeah.
ask them.
It's just right there if you're coming into town, like it's right in your face, right?
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if every time we see something on Facebook, like I seen 4 today that were like, I need an electrician in the area, I need
Yeah, I
a
know.
hairdresser in the area, or
That's why
whatever.
we brought this up.
I'm wondering if as a committee, we can just be like, okay, look, here's our like business directory registration form. If you're in this area, like, and just keep promoting it, just like add on to it so that we can kind of build that directory up. So that we do have basically a call list, and we can start adding it into the welcome package. We can update our website and it free to register, like, so anybody that does any sort of business in Bonfield, you would think that they would want to at least fill a form to register if there's no cost, just to try and
Mhm.
get that extra customer too. I
Yeah,
think we just
and it
gotta
would
do-
build our website, you know,
Mhm.
for those that are here, like how many landscapers we have here.
Right.
I think building a directory for sure is
Mhm.
integral to all of this.
And we do have one, but it's not updated. And that's why I'm saying, like, we need to help, like, get the word out to these people. Hey, let us know that you offer this building or this
Service.
service so we can put it on our
Yeah,
website.
yeah.
But
But I think this is like almost beyond the rec committee. I think this is more of a
Mhm.
staff.
economic
for the
development.
township.
Yeah.
Right.
I have no problem running the trade show as part of the rec committee, but I mean, some of this work should be done ahead of time for us, like, here's a list of all the companies, contact them, things like that.
And send, I would send like a letter to specific ones,
Mhm.
to all of them, saying, look, this is happening.
Yeah.
You know,
Because we.
let us know you're here.
We
Right.
picked far in advance, so I think we should look for next year in the winter. Because it's a little over a year to plan. And I think we need to build that directory between our committee and our staff of our township. Just so that we're better prepared, so that everybody is aware of the event. And again, keep it free for Bonfield and charge for surrounding companies or surrounding municipalities, right?
Mhm.
And see what we get done. We also didn't want to invite surrounding municipalities this time because we didn't know how busy we would be.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to turn booths away.
Right.
And we got 3 that were like super last minute, like after you sent the list to us, we got 3 after that, right? So it's such a last minute community and it still continues to be, right? So
And I guess we could reach out to the other municipalities around and see if they can put it on their Facebook. So that their residents know about it.
Do we
So,
put
yeah.
stuff from other municipalities or? communities?
Not at this point, no, I don't think so.
I think we're gonna start
Okay,
doing stuff like that, but we've been sharing just like the library stuff and
okay.
Yeah, reciprocal advertising is a good thing to do.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So again, I'm happy that we ran it. It was, a shot in the dark. It looked like it wasn't even gonna happen like a year ago when we kept bringing the idea up. So I'm glad that we at least, took a step forward and ran it. It didn't really cost us anything. It was fairly easy to run, but I think we can definitely build on it to make it a little bit better.
Well, like I said, it's our first year, right? So.
Yeah.
Do and learn.
And maybe, like you said, have it in the winter.
When people are bored.
People are bored and they're going to,
season too.
Right.
It's another.
yeah,
Well,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was,
yeah.
I got 3 or 4 people saying hunting, 3 or 4 people saying different weddings.
Mhm.
It's still wedding season. Got to close up cottages. And stuff like
And
that. Like,
February.
The other
dead
thing-
one.
The businesses that do outside work, they're trying to cram everything
Mhm.
in, like they're working weekends and so.
Well, I think that would work.
I think January would be good.
Yeah, January or February, people are fresh.
Well, January, you're just coming out of Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Maybe late January, because come February, everybody's out ice fishing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And skidoing.
Good job.
I think you're, yeah.
yeah, just take a look around at the different activities coming up in North Bay, January, February, and book outside of those, because if February is usually coming on,
Yeah,
So
there's that too.
you
so,
don't want to
yeah.
book around those because people,
Right. Go there.
yeah.
Any new business? So unfinished business, 7.1 Halloween parade. So Renee's been posting a lot on social media with respect to the fish shows who had a fire. That she wasn't really pushing candy donations too much, but obviously she would still accept them. She just kind of feels that pushing for a financial donation at this point in time in this community that's limited funds maybe aren't going to the right place if it's for candy, but obviously she would still accept them. But she's also trying to still promote the event and try and get some more parades and people walking the parade, floats, I should say, and people walking the parade. So she's still trying to push it and try and get more people involved. But that was for the 28th, I believe, at 6 p.m. Yeah, 28th. All good for that. So 7.2, Christmas in Barnfield and the soup and chili baking exchange and parade. We had a date for this already.
It's November 25th.
Mhm.
November 25th.
Month before Christmas.
All this is coming fast, huh? So I guess we just need to start promoting to try and get some soup and chili entries. And new this year was the baking exchange.
And
So,
part of the parade is fill a cruiser. So the OPP will be sending down a police cruiser that will be part of the parade. And then you ask residents to fill it with donations to the food bank. And then the cruiser makes its way to the food bank and unloads the cruiser. So that will be part of the parade this year.
I'm not in Canada that weekend, but obviously I'll do much to try and promote it prior.
So can you and I discuss what I need to do to get this organized on the date? Because you were busy
For which one, sorry?
for this one.
For the Christmas and bond pool, what you need to do?
Yeah, because I usually help on. it.
Okay, yeah, we'll figure
But
it
she
out.
already has 3/4 of it done by the time I get there.
We'll learn.
Okay,
Yep, I will be there with Cassandra. Cassandra this will be her first year, so
okay.
we will meet there and I'll show her the ropes. And
Keep me
we're
in
only
mind.
doing one potted chili this year, not three. Because we always have way too much. So we'll get everything set up and then get the chili going and then set the hall. So if anybody else wants to come and help out,
I'll be there. That's good.
oh, do we want music this year for like we did in previous years?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Was during the chili, yeah,
okay,
chili and soup, yeah. for
okay.
sure.
Okay, I will reach out to Linda and see if JR is available.
Yeah. The people liked it.
Yes, they do.
They really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Okay,
So 7.3, New Year's Eve dance. So usually Ricky DJs. He's not available this year. I do have a DJ. So if we're moving ahead with the event, we can book him and finalize him. That's Jason Hurt. He usually does a couple of different bars in North Bay. I usually use Kyle Sell and Celebrations for a lot of events. And he's running a big New Year's Eve dance in Calendar. So his will be fairly big, 300 people. So he's not available, but we do have a DJ. So if we want to move ahead with it, I think it's a no-brainer. It's pretty easy to run. Council, everybody individually on council, I should say, seems pretty interested in helping and getting that up and going as well. So we do have a DJ. That was the only key component that we needed. So we can move forward with everything else if you guys want to.
Is the hall
run that
booked?
event. We can book the hall. Nobody's using the hall, so we can book it. We can book like our bus and get our license and all that stuff. Let's say this one is a pretty easy one. It's mostly just promoting and selling the tickets. So if we want to move ahead with that, we can start getting our flyers together and printing tickets and going through some of the logistics of that one. But we don't really have to plan a whole lot for it.
does the committee want to move forward with that so that we can start doing everything that needs to be done?
Well, if it's a no-brainer, then. Was it successful in the past?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, well.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I don't see why we couldn't.
and I think we're thinking trying to do 2 beneficiaries per year. So do the camp to help with the camp spots and to keep the cost down, and then do another local one. Fire department was thrown out for this year so far. I'm open to suggestions, but if we get 2 organizations involved where we can kind of split the funds, we might be able to use the other organization that it's benefiting to bring in their volunteers and help with the night of and help with setting up and cleaning up and things like that. Instead of just always being for camp for one organization.
Any comments?
Fine, it's good to throw it somewhere else too. I mean, yeah.
Just pick a different one every year. And last year we did senior housing and the Lions Club.
Yeah.
Were the 2 for
Yeah.
years. And I think it was 1,600-ish each.
Yeah.
something like that.
Somewhere in that area, yeah. Yeah, because don't forget this, like we have our next meeting in November and then beginning of December. So the more we make our decisions tonight, then the easier it is for us to move forward and start reserving the hall and see the DJ and putting everything in place that we need. So that by our next meeting, we can have another update and see where we're at.
Yeah, because I'm sure everything's gonna book up fast.
So where's their need in the community? for our second.
I just hear fire department out there, but I mean, we can look at other
Sure,
organizations.
I mean, fire departments volunteer, right?
Mhm.
So, for sure, and I know that the auxiliary women, they would
help out.
definitely help out, so.
Yeah.
I would go with the fire department. I mean, they're volunteers
Yeah,
and
no,
they're, you know, they really help when they're needed, so. That's my opinion.
I agree. It's a good one to do.
Because we don't seem to do that much for them and they need it, right? So, no, I totally agree with you, Steve.
Okay, I'll contact them and let them know that that's what everybody decided. So I guess through the township, you guys can get your liquor license and book the hall and the bus.
Mhm.
And I'll confirm up with the DJ. And if somebody knows how to make tickets and flyers, we can do some of that stuff.
I'll do that.
We have the tickets, we can use the same as we usually do, just just a flyer.
I'll just do, I'll do a flyer.
Yeah, we'll, create the flyer and then Cassandra and I can show her where the template is for the tickets and we can start running those off. And as soon as we know from you that you've confirmed the DJ and it's a go,
He's good to go.
he's good to go?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'll just need all that information, like his name and all that kind of stuff.
We
And the
did
cost.
25, yeah, we did 25 before, $25 person.
yes.
A lot of other people are way higher than that. Obviously, we want to keep the cost down here, but and I think we've been close to selling out every time too.
Yes,
I don't know if we want to try and change it up and do 30, or if we want to try and stay safe and say 25, but
I would stay safe at 25 and get our people.
Right.
Mm.
we can bring in 200 or so. Something like that.
Yeah, I would stick with the 25.
What did we do for
Draw the
food
local
last
people.
year? Was it
Pizza.
last year?
Last year we did
Pizza.
pizza,
But
yeah.
not this year.
Donna's got a plan.
Okay,
We're just gonna put it on her. Or we're just gonna step back and be like, well, thanks, Donna. Yeah,
okay.
So we should
gonna be
be
awesome.
in touch with Donna,
yeah, I think
Okay.
Donna.
Donna Clark.
Donna Clark.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So. All right, 2024 events. That's just under unfinished business. I don't think anything really needs our attention yet, right? These are kind of the big ones
Just
currently.
to
Yeah.
decide what events we're going to have for 2024.
Does anybody want anything different? Does anybody not want to run something that we ran in the past? I'd kind of like to leave that open
Yeah.
until we get the new committee members too, because like Renee ran the Easter one and she runs the Halloween one. So, I mean, once we have a full committee, that's when it's start to look
Yeah,
like
I like that idea.
2024.
Yep.
But it sounds like our agenda is kind of the same all the time. Our schedule of events is kind of the same every year. So I would just like to kind of keep rolling with it and try and build each one a little bit.
and it's also to establish our budget, because I know CAO and council want the budget passed earlier than it has been so we need to establish our budget so that we don't come up next year and start planning and the budget's already been approved. So if we know what we want to do for next year, then we can work on what kind of budget we need and be ready.
So maybe next meeting, next month, we should have your budget that you had for last year.
Right.
So that we can discuss it. Because if we're gonna do the same activities,
It'll be pretty close to.
Yeah, because I know you want to add the Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
End of season, I can't remember what you called it.
Oh, we're not adding it, we're just taking it from Canada Day. and-
Yes.
Yeah, so. there's
But
really
it's
no
to make
cost.
sure that
Yeah.
there's money for both.
Yeah, the only extra cost, I guess, would be a band, and this year
Mhm.
council paid for the band. But obviously, we don't want to run into that every year. We're just gonna figure it out at the end of the year. So the the budget shouldn't really change a whole lot, other than, like, I guess the standard percentage that everything changes.
Right.
Like,
So maybe we can present, you guys can bring the budget
Mhm.
for next meeting so that we can look at it,
Change anything if we have to, or?
recommend to council that this is the budget, and then
Yeah.
want to keep our council.
Especially those numbers.
all right. And then we have the correspondence, we have the children's business fair. So there was a email sent.
Yeah.
So good afternoon, Andre. Just saw the cutest idea online, hosting a children's business fair that's organized like a small farmer's market, but it's all young children accompanied by their parents selling their creations. Homemade slimes, friendship bracelets, lemons. I love that entrepreneurship. Would be great to get the school involved as well, maybe for next June. We could also, of course, take advantage of the crowd and invite other local vendors, treat it like an end of the season farmer's market. This is from Renee, who I believe is going to try to sit on this committee as well. So I'm not opposed to it by any means. I just think maybe to get it off the ground, we'd be best suited to try and piggyback on another event with this. For instance, our end of the summer fireworks and games and whatever, if we set it up for that, or maybe Canada Day.
Yeah, because there's a big draw of people right there. I mean,
Or your garage sale day.
Mm,
I think that would be best.
That would be a good time.
Yeah.
Because school is still in session, as if we wait till Canada Day, school's out and everybody's kind of gone their own way and everything.
So if we could set them up like all in one area or something, right?
Mhm.
But I
We
think-
we could do this section, and use the rink. If it, because we already have the book fair, the book sale here.
Right.
People are coming in, and if it rains, then we could move everything into the rink. Or
right,
just have all of the tables out in the parking lot when there's already traffic coming through. The other place would be the school parking lot.
yeah,
If it's going to be kids, we could do it there
right.
and people could visit the case and then the school parking lot.
Because a lot of it's up that area anyways, right? So,
yeah.
Because it's usually here, the fire department and the case.
Because when it's the barbecue, the case barbecue, I always reserve the gym just in case it rains.
Mm.
Because they have an overhang, so we can barbecue under the overhang, and then everybody can be inside. But I was thinking this year, if it rains, we're gonna be here. Cause it's bigger, and if the kids are there, it's perfect.
yeah, well, and even if it's really sunny out, I mean, it keeps the sun off,
Yeah.
beating on the kids.
Yep.
So,
For
yeah.
sure.
We'll just respond to that individual, say that we're open to the idea and we'd like it to probably correspond with.
Yeah.
The garage sale.
So,
The community day.
Mhm.
It's the first Saturday in June,
Yes.
so.
Just devil's advocate, aren't kids at this point basically checked out of doing things?
My opinion is if they're in their own little business where they have maybe lemonade stands or they're making jewelry or it's something that they love doing, right? And this is going to be an event different from what they're doing. They're actually going to be presenting their articles and selling them. So I think they might get excited about that.
Yeah.
You know?
And
It
I
could be
mean,
their art, it could be,
if they're young farmers, obviously they love that, so they're
Yeah.
gonna be still, try to promote what they have.
Okay, yeah, I just don't want to overload them because school can be really tough near the end, you know. Something to think about, but anyway.
You can always run it and see how it goes and
Yeah, next
Steve
year,
Turn
change
out,
it,
yeah.
Exactly.
just like a trade show.
But yeah, I don't think we want to run a different event totally for this.
No.
I think we
No.
want to piggyback on
Piggyback,
something
yeah.
else that we're already doing. Maybe even a movie night. Just another thought. They could set up tables there and
This would be really good, 'cause then they can sell their stuff for Christmas gifts,
Mm,
you know?
Mhm. For next year, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
something to
why
consider.
don't we just table it for now until we get the other committees going?
Yeah.
And get their input, because obviously we have a few
Mhm.
events that I think it could fit into.
Yeah.
All right, 9, information. Okay, so next meeting, it's scheduled for November 6th. I am on my way back from the States that day, so I don't know about timing. The Mondays seem to work fairly well, but over the winter, if we can stay till the 5 o'clock, if that works for everybody without stressing anybody out, that works good. Because Monday nights we run our programming at schools. So Sandra this year is doing gymnastics.
Yeah.
And I need to be there as well. So it works out, if we did our meetings here at 5, we can still get to the schools to run them. I'm just wondering if we should maybe move the meeting from the 6th to the 13th.
13th is a staff.
It's a stat one. Oh, because it's, okay. So we can run it, I just may not be back in time for it. But I don't think it matters.
You have a
as long
vice
as
chair?
you're here. Second,
So are we keeping the 5 o'clock?
5 if we can.
It
so
works
that's-
for me.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it works for other
Your
people.
schedule is up for renewal every January.
Okay.
So if the committee wanted to do this permanently, when we renew the schedule in January, then you just change the date and time.
I think it only works off season for
Yeah.
some of the members on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it only works.
Wintertime is
2 months.
fine, like for me, but summertime, I
Mhm.
never make 5 o'clock.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if the committee wants to rethink having Mondays at 7.
Well, I mean, why don't we split it? Split it for the off season. Can we do that? Like
Yeah.
7.
You just
7 through the
establish-
summers and 5 in the winter.
establish your schedule.
So November 6th at 5?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to bring something to the committee.
Yeah.
And, under information. Do we have a volunteer registry?
No.
I was thinking of maybe starting a registry for volunteers where we have a list of names. And we call them, and they don't have to say yes, they don't have to say no. And, you know how, I think in the past you used to have the volunteer day celebration. That would be great for that, but
Mhm.
I mean, there's a shortage of volunteers, and I think what's happening is we're exhausting
Yeah.
the volunteers that we do have. But if we send out, I don't know, a mass mail or on Facebook to say, you know, we're starting a volunteer registry. If you're interested to volunteer 1 hour of your time, or even include the students in there,
Mhm.
you know?
It
I
would-
think that would be great, so that we have a running list of volunteers.
I think that a lot of people like are worried about that, right? If you go, then you're,
You
you
know,
die there.
if
All the-
if it's an
Yeah.
hour,
Yeah, but
You know,
if I started working on establishing a policy for volunteers and then starting a database.
okay,
And then you collect their emails, and if you have an event coming up, you send an email to your volunteers and you say, I need so many volunteers. And then that way, you know, you may get 5 that'll say, yeah, I'm available that day. And then the next time we need something, we send it out, and then you get the other 5. So it's not always the same
Same,
people,
exactly.
but you have maybe 30 people that are
And I think-
able
and I
to.
think it would be great too, if we were able to, with their permission, of course, put it on the township website, volunteer registry, and then you have the names, or,
Well,
know?
Is that legal?
Well,
terms
you
of
have to have,
privacy?
you have to have their permission to do it. You can't just
Right.
do it. You have to
Yeah.
have their permission, so you have to have their consent. But just it's a form of recognition, right?
Mhm.
So it's just a thought.
No, it's a good thought.
Yeah, no, it's just to finish working on the policy and
Yeah.
then promoting and
Because I think it's really needed, because I'm sure there are people that would like to volunteer an hour or so, but
Or for one event. so
for one
Mhm.
event,
not- Don't want to be committed all the time.
exactly. It's just to reach out to them, you know? It's because we're exhausting. I see it in all the clubs that I belong to. It's just starting to dwindle and, you know, I think we just need to start up send it out and say, you know, we just half hour, whatever time you have to give, perfect. you
Or
know?
even to that effect, that, you know, you can send out a schedule of the day, and if you can fill in, you know, put in slots.
Mhm.
This person will be here at this time, you know, can you do this time?
Mhm. And your idea of email and just sending.
Yeah.
yeah, you
That's
send
Yeah.
you send an email to your volunteers and say,
Hopefully
okay, we
the
have
answer.
this going on Saturday, I need time.
Right. And yeah, I mean, and you have the schedule. and, you
Yeah.
know, who can fill what time in.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay,
All right, so next meeting, November 6th at 5 p.m.
Perfect. I like 5.
That can go over.
Sorry?
That one can go over. Okay.
I'll close.
I want you to yell at her, not me this time.
Great job, Sandra. Thank you.
she did a good job, she just needs to speak up.
I do. There we go.
Everybody, second
We'll
by
get there.
Dan,
You won't
that
get
the
me to stop,
Recreation Fitness Committee meeting be adjourned at 5:35. All in favor? All right,
Okay,
so I'll start promoting the next 2 or 3.
nope,